Hi everybody and welcome back. My name's Melissa and this year I'm sharing 365 tips for frugal living. Now I'm going to try this again. This is like the bazillionth time I've tried editing them and everything, and I've just had the worst luck. And I'm going to carefully unhook the, hate it, like, you know the, how like spiral notebooks get like that little hangy thing that sometimes comes off? Yeah, this one got caught in my clothes. So I'm going to set that there. So today's tip for frugal living is quit with all the boycotts. And here's the thing. Like right now, corporations are probably like, yes, quit with all the boycotts. Way to go. Tell them. They're not going to like me in a few minutes. Please, please, please hear me out. So I see a lot of people. So a lot of people are boycotting Target. That's one that we all know about because of the whole DEI policy. But if you look, Target might not have the same, the word DEI policy, but their policy for inclusion is pretty thorough on their website. And I saw people like yesterday saying, I shop at CVS because they have a DEI policy. But if you read CVS's DEI policy, their DEI policy is simply hiring the best candidate for the job, regardless of, like race and everything. So that really doesn't say much of anything. That says, we're committed to DEI. But I have seen a more diverse workforce in Target than anywhere else I shop. I have seen multiple races at Targets, not just white and black and Hispanic. Those are obvious. Like we see a lot of people with those three main races in America. But I also see people who are Indian, people who are Asian, like East Asian versus West Asian. I see people who are different religions. I've seen people who are Jain Hindu, or a Hindu. I can't guarantee it's Jain Hindu. I've seen people who are Muslim. I've seen people in the LGBTQ community. I've seen trans people there. I've seen non-binary people there. I've seen all sorts of people there. But and me as a disabled person, not only do I see disabled people there, I am a disabled person. I work for Shift, which is a subsidiary of Target. Like Target bought them, I think. And I had an incident occur a few months ago related to my disability around St. Patrick's Day. And not only did they have somebody call me, they had somebody call me that was familiar with my specific disability. And they went above and beyond. Instead of making me like email to get like unpaired from the person and everything. And the person who I had to be unpaired with was really nice and they were a great tipper, but they had a particular environmental issue that was very dangerous for my specific disability. So they unpaired me. They made sure I was okay. They offered to drop any orders if I needed them dropped, or offer late forgiveness if I needed. They told me if I was in the middle of a shop, and it turned out I wasn't okay because at that point I had time to calm myself because it took like 15 minutes to get to hold of the right person to have them call me. I'd had time to like drive back to Target, park in a dark corner, cover my eyes, drown out all kind of like as much of the noise as I could and everything, and just kind of like recenter. And so they were really cool about it. And a lot of people don't accommodate. And I mean, because it's gig work more than anything, the thing I like about gig work is that I can provide my own accommodations, but typically you don't get accommodations in gig work. So that was pretty shocking to me. But okay, so I'm off on a tangent now about Target. But anyway, so people are boycotting Target, and that's fine. But I also, and I've also saw like collaborative partnerships with Black creators that came out this summer. So they're still putting it there, but then everybody is like, oh no, I'm not going to shop there. I'm going to shop here instead. Or like another person said, well, I'm going to shop at Trader Joe's. But then if you look at Trader Joe's in January of 2024, beginning of 2024, they sued the National Labor Relations Board along with a couple of other corporations. I want to say Bezos and Maybe Bezos and Musk. I don't know. They're like the two evil billionaires, so I could very well be mixing up who exactly it was. But they sued, and the National Labor's Relations Board purpose is to ensure safety and fairness for working people. So that's obviously not good. So now, I mean, like, at some point, we're all overwhelmed, right? And we're all looking to support and try. And just, for the purpose of this, when I say corporation, I don't mean like somebody who incorporated their company into an LLC or an S corp, or like a small, restaurant with 3 locations. I'm talking like the big corporations, like many are publicly traded and everything. So we are boycotting all of them. Like, everybody's boycotting. I just saw like a Meijer manager at one location did something really shitty, and now everybody's like, boycott Meijer, because one manager did something really bad. But we're boycotting all of these, and don't get me wrong, I think corporations are evil to the core. Corporations are not people. So here's where I'm going to give you the nuance. So you boycott Target, you take your dollars to Walmart. You boycott Walmart, you take your dollars to Amazon. You boycott Amazon, you take your dollars to, you keep on taking your dollars to other corporations. So anyway, you cut it. The people who suffer when you do a boycott, if you look, a lot of the people who are suffering are the employees who are making, minimum wage or just above, and they're just, they're struggling. But the CEO of Target just resigned. I'm pretty sure he's got a nice severance package coming to him. So I'm not worried about him. And even if he had no severance, I'm pretty sure he's made enough over the past 11 years that he could retire just based off of what he made. These CEOs make more in a year than most of us will in a lifetime. And I don't know, I feel like maybe that's a little unnecessary. So instead of taking those dollars from Target, shopping at Walmart, and then from Walmart, shopping at Amazon, my theory is this: take those dollars from all of them and don't shop at any of them. Keep those dollars in your pocket, in your bank account, wherever. Now, there are going to be some things you're going to need to eat. So find the cheapest prices. Find those sale items. So breaking up with corporations is not going to be easy. And it's actually, in our current environment in America and most of the Western world, to my knowledge, most of the developed world, to my knowledge, breaking up with corporations is not an option. It's impossible. It's going to be a long and messy breakup, and it's going to take time. So, sheesh Louise, I keep getting this stinking thing caught on my pajamas. It's like a... Oh, wait. No, going the wrong way. There we go. I should get my wire cutters out. Cut that. Anyways, so I made a list. I don't know if you can see. So this is like types of things I buy. This is not exhaustive yet. I will keep adding to it. And then what I did is I transferred that list after my initial brainstorm into 2 categories. One is things I can source elsewhere. Things I can source elsewhere. And then things I have to get from a corporation, or things I have to get new. So something like clothes. Clothes. There's some things I'm going to buy new no matter what. I'm going to buy underwear new. I'm going to buy socks new. I'm going to buy shoes new. Shoes, they mold to your feet after like the first few wearings, so it can like really mess up your back, feet, everything else. So I always wear new shoes. But clothes, a lot of clothes can be bought secondhand or through a no buy. You can get a coat secondhand. You can get all your outerwear pretty much. You can get pants, skirts, dresses, shoes, or not shoes, shirts. Those all can be purchased secondhand. Then you're not necessarily purchasing from a corporation. Again, you're going to want to like be careful where you're getting them from because corporation. As far as having to get things new, food. All of my food is going to be new. I'm not going to get any used food. However, how can I source it elsewhere? I can grow some food. I'm planning on planting apple trees this fall. I can get whole foods instead of packaged foods and cook from scratch. So instead of buying chicken nuggets, I can buy chicken and flour and make it myself, which is cheaper and giving less money to corporations. I do wood. So some wood I'll have to be bought new, but some I can repurpose. Garden tools I can get off of Facebook Marketplace or at a flea market. Garden supplies like dirt, worms, all of those I will have to, chances are, well, worms I might be able to go through like more of a small corporation than like corporate America type corporation. Seeds, I technically no seed is ever really new. You're buying every seed you buy used, just because of what a seed is. If you think about it, like you get a seed from a fruit. So technically, I guess they're all used, right? So I can save seeds. I can, I'll get some seeds from freeheirloomseeds.org. I'll have to look it up. I did a video. I'll see if I can, if I remember, I'll link it in the cards. Car, if I need a new car, I can buy it used through a private owner. Gas, no choice. With gas, I have to interact. There's some things that you have to interact with corporate America, mainly energy. Gas, heat, electric, phone, medicine, vitamins. I have to take special vitamins. I have to take methylated B vitamins because I don't have the enzyme to turn B vitamins into their usable form. So while I 100% don't recommend a ton of vitamins, take the vitamins you need, because if you truly need vitamins, it's because you're deficient in a certain vitamin and your doctor, like your MD, can help you with that. So like I have to take magnesium and my B vitamins. Yours may be very different. Tools I can buy used. Cleaning products I have to buy new, but I can use things like vinegar. Art supplies vary. Toilet paper has to be bought new. Certain hygiene things like toothpaste and stuff, soap. So kind of make a list and see what things you can do to break up with corporations and spend less money. I actually, I think there's tons of ways to do it. I'll do a few more videos more specifically getting into them. But if you can think of anything else that people regularly buy that I'm probably missing, write it in the comments below, because I could very well have completely forgot about something that I buy every day that's like a main category other than like, food or whatever. And then, yeah. And if you can think of another alternative to engaging with corporations, because instead of boycotting one specific corporation and taking your dollars to another corporation where we're still making the rich richer, because let me tell you, folks like Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos, all those wealthy fucks, they have a diverse portfolio. They have money everywhere. And they're never going to be happy. They're never going to have enough money. It will never be enough. They'll never have enough money. They'll never have enough power. They'll never be happy. I think that I am truly, genuinely, probably happier than Elon Musk based on what I see him do. And he is the richest man in the world. And I am over here at a 400 square foot house. And it's not because I'm special. It's because I think he's that miserable. I think that, you know, his constant strive to, you know, I mean, like, when you're greedy and constantly, like, striving to take and take and take, how can you be happy like that? I think most of the world is probably happier than Elon Musk. Even those of us that are broke and struggling. I think there's homeless people who are starving that are happier than Elon Musk. Who are more satisfied with their life and content with what they have. So, instead of boycotting one business, one corporation, and then taking your money elsewhere, try and minimize how much money you're going to spend at those corporations anyways. You don't need another live, laugh, love sign. You don't need to redecorate your apartment. Don't go to Temu and buy all new stuff. You do not need it. So, just don't boycott a corporation. Just break up with all of them. And spend as little money as you can at all of them. And so that way you're not just giving, you know, you're not taking your money from one bad guy and giving it to another. Anyways, again, my name is Melissa, and this year I'm sharing 365 tips for frugal living. If you want to hear more, please hit like and subscribe, and I'll see you all tomorrow.